So, as always in the wow factor, I'd like to give a little detailed background on some of the products whenever I can. And I'll start off by just the front end of this GT3. Every air intake and grill in this front section is utilized either by portions of the front radiator, which you can see right behind that grill. You've got the side air intake and this grill here, and I'll circle around. You can see right inside there it actually blows air in and helps cool the brakes as part of the technology and aerodynamics of this vehicle. And speaking of aerodynamics, look at that front splitter, just a couple inches from the ground. This particular model does have the hydraulic front end lift, so that does lift the front end a couple inches and helps to get over some of those nasty curbs, so there's no fractioning of that front splitter. The headlamps here, look at how pretty those are. I'll go into detail on those in a few minutes. You can see here on the left side in the front trunk is the mobility system. This is the air pressure system set up for the tires in case you need a pneumatic assist, you had a flat, etc. On the right side in the trunk is the toolkit, and then the toe insert right there that will insert right into this system right here. It's mandatory that you do have this set up in any track usage, so that's right here in the right side of the trunk. Then under here you do have brake fluid and wiper fluid. Outside of that, you really don't see anything relating to the radiator or cooling, which is all under this front system here. But let's just talk about this car for a second. So this is the 2015 model 991.1. This year range went from 2014 to 2016. There were about 6,300 units made. This is the 3.8 liter water-cooled flat six, and you can see right there that it's the 3.8 liter. They're pushing out 470 horsepower, 325 pounds of foot torque at 6,200 RPMs, but this bad boy goes all the way up to 9,000 RPMs. It literally sounds like an F1 car. This also has the clear tail lights, which was an upgrade on this particular 911. Again, circling in talking about the aerodynamics, this is the rear portion of the air flow that comes from the rear wheels. So it takes the airflow coming into this section and allows it to release right out of that pretty little design in that back end. But come on, is that beautiful or what? The interior, very impressive. A lot of Alcantara. This has the leather and Alcantara combo seats with the upgraded stitching. You can see the stitching in the seats. This has the red guards seat belt with the red track tachometer right built into the dash, and that's part of the Sport Chrono package. It's got the fire extinguisher, a lot of Alcantara in the side armrest here. Pop out storage, additional storage up here. Nice trimmed out, and I'll go over some of the buttons and what they can do for your performance here in a few minutes. But look at how pretty this car, like even the paint job. The black has like speckles in it. It's like super just popping. It just stands out. Look at that like sparkly color. Impressive, Porsche. Nicely done. So I promised you I'd go through even a little more detail on the interior and the performance factors. So starting with the upper right here, that's my exhaust baffle, open and closed. So right now it's closed. If I touch it and the red light comes on, it's open. It does let that exhaust breathe substantially more, and I will say the sound is just 100 times more impressive in my opinion. Here's my hydraulic lift. This particular GT3 comes with the front end hydraulic lift. I talked about that already a couple minutes ago, but it does increase the total front splitter height by a couple inches, helping you get over some of those tough curbs and whatnot. On the left hand side here, we've got PDK Sport. So even though this PDK system is immensely impressive in its gear shifting, this will actually make it even more pronounced, really focused on that track day when you want just the best possible shifting possible. Then you've got this suspension button. What does that mean? If you don't know it, it is the Porsche Active Suspension Management System. This will actually alter the dampening per wheel based on needs, and when you're going around corners and whatnot. It's really an impressive system, even though it just has a suspension button. And then of course you can take the stabilization off, the traction control off. I have never taken these off. I think it's nice to have as a kind of a safety measure. And then just kind of scrolling up here, this does have some of the nicety features. So it's got my AC, it's got heated seats, it's got defroster. I can sync between passenger and driver. It's really a nice setup. I can drive this as a daily driver, and then I can get in. Now I told you I'd come back to the headlights. This does have the Porsche Dynamic Light System, so that's the PDLS. So, you know, xenon headlamp, but the main focus here is that these follow you around the corners. So those major headlights on top actually move and will focus the light beam on the cornering. If you're going right, it turns right. If you're going left, it moves left. 3 with the 3.8 liter, just nicely decorated with some carbon fiber. Has the Mobil 1 specifications here. That fan intake and the air intake here is literally being pushed from the air intake at the top of this panel, and then coolant and oil right here, and that's it. So great job with this fin here. And then as I come around, I'll show you that massive air intake right here. It's literally a couple inches thick that is force fed directly into that engine and directly into those fans. So just impressive engineering by Porsche here. I just love all the lighting detail with the pieces of chrome right in the mix here. It's like a piece of art. It literally is a piece of art built into a race car that is a street car. All right, so let's dive into some of the inside and some of the other specifications for you. So guys, let's jump into some of the details of this GT3. So I'm going to start it up here for you. Okay, that is impressive. Actually going to see if the exhaust baffle button makes a difference at idle here for you. So no, nominal difference at idle, but I will say it opens up a lot more frequency entertainment when that button is opened up during driving. I'll tell you that. So this GT3 is again the 2015. It's got the new PDK system. It's got the rear wheel steering, which, let me tell you a little bit about the rear wheel steering. From 0 to 30 miles an hour, the rear tires actually go opposite of the front tires, so getting you around some of those tight corners a little bit better. Then from 31 to 50 miles an hour, no steering in the rear at all. It continues a straight line. And then from 51 miles an hour over, the rear wheels actually steer in parallel with the front wheels and allows you to take those big sweeping turns at even a better, more precise angle. Really impressive, Porsche. So I'll get over here. It's got the PDK paddles. Porsche Doppelkupplung is what PDK stands for, just so you guys know. It's a dual clutch system that literally throws a hammer at that transmission between every gear. It goes from first and then bangs into second. So for those of you who don't know, the dual clutch system actually has a setup where we are taking that next gear because Porsche's computer knows that I'm on the gas and I want to go up in speed, right? So it's got the next higher gear ready and available on the dual clutch system. So when I hit this plus pedal, it pops into the next gear. However, if I'm off the gas or if I'm braking, the computer knows that I'm slowing down in speed, so it's got the next lower gear ready in the dual clutch system, and it's got that low gear ready to pop down for a quick downshift. And I will say, the downshifts and the upshifts are just like an orchestra going off inside your head. It's unbelievable how fast this goes from gear to gear. And then if you do pull both of the paddles in at the same time, you can rev the engine. If you're passing some teenager who's impressed by your car, give them a little show. It's fun. So again, I'm going to walk you around some of the specifics. So on the tires here, we've got the Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2, and these are a pure track tire. Huge calipers surrounding 380 millimeter rotors here, and that's standard on front and rear rotors. So again, look at these massive calipers and rotors with the center locking wheels. The fronts are 245 35s, the rears are 305 30s, giving you some serious meat down there. And talking about serious, I'm bringing you right around to listen to this pure symphony. Now this particular GT3 has the Sharkworks exhaust, so that is an upgrade. It's a lighter exhaust. It adds about 15 horsepower to this already, so we're closing in on 500 horsepower. So I mean this is a pure race car on the streets. Unbelievable, guys. It's pure